constant stream of self-involved, self-indulgent horseshit.
The HollingsWorthless pod. What a fucking dumb name. It's worth, but it's worth less. You fucking stink.
Fucking yuck.
We could play a game.
What's the game?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Why are you getting undressed?
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh my God, yes you do. Yes you do. You do so. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, you fucking idiot.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Happy. Keep it happy and light. Keep it light. Everybody makes it to this far in the podcast. It's still not worth it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless program. This will be for Wednesday, March 13th. I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth, and this week we do not have Cocaine, the co-host. Stepping in, I got Jack Galvin, and this is a special episode. We're doing a swap cast with the guys over at Ready, Set, Blow podcast, Randy, Valerio, and Chase Abel. So enjoy the swap cast, and Kane will be back next week. Enjoy the show.
I don't know. We're going out of order because we got two special guests in today.
Wow.
Three. One of them is a silent partner, though. He's filming. We've got Jay Hollingsworth.
Yes.
Big Irish Jay. You started in Boston, right?
Yes.
But you live in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And we got Jack Galvin from Arizona.
Yeah.
Correct, right? Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix. Yep.
All right, shout out.
I wish you would have stuck with we have a very special guest and then only intro Jack.
Oh, yeah. Supposed to be hanging out there.
Yeah. And we're doing a swap cast, so
That's right.
HollingsWorthless.
HollingsWorthless. How long have you been doing that one?
Like 5 years.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
You got started early, huh?
That long.
Yeah, I started it where it was originally it was just me talking, and then that lasted like 3 episodes. And I don't know why, but I literally, this is an exaggeration, I'd probably yawn on my own thing in that hour. I'd probably yawn 30 times minimum every time. And people would be like, why? I'm like, I don't know why, but when it's just me, I'm boring myself. I have no idea.
It feels like a one-way conversation, like a one-way phone call at that point. Like,
Yeah.
If someone's
Yep. Yeah. And so after like 3 episodes, I started having a buddy, Phil Fox was co-host for a while, and then now it's my buddy Kane Holloway, who's not here, and Jack's been subbing in as the co-host.
That's right. And how have you been featured for him on this little road trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hosted this past week.
Okay, nice.
Featured for him at the Wahaha.
And how'd you guys link up at the Big Pine? And how'd you guys meet?
Grinder.
Yeah.
The big dudes.
Big dudes.
Power bottom, yeah.
Grinder.
Bears are us. No, it was it sounds so weird.
We had
but
trouble figuring this out exactly.
We bonded at Big Pine, and then I think we knew each other a little bit before that. We had run-ins, and but then really bonded the second time at Big Sky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where we just went both just to.
And you said, and you and Hillary are taking that over. You said for the last 4 years.
Big Pine?
5 years. Yeah.
This is our third year.
Nice.
This will be our third year. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's been going great.
Big Pines is based in
Flagstaff, Arizona, which is about 2 hours north of Phoenix.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I heard good things about that festival.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
We're trying.
And you just did it this year, right?
Yeah, it's weird. There's I've done a bunch of festivals and Big Pine, Big Sky are two of the best. You know what else was a great festival that they don't do anymore? That I did the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. I actually did that 2 years. I did it 2 years in Oakland.
They just saw your name and assumed you were black.
Well, no, it's like a big black Irish.
Jay, you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Chase, did you hear I said Bay Area Black? I just want to make sure you.
Different black. It's a different.
No, but it was
Oakland Raiders guys.
I was the only white guy in the finals one year.
Nice.
But what's crazy is when I moved to LA I started comedy here in Boston, went to Seattle for like 5 years, then moved to LA. When I moved to LA, I got more stuff from the connections I met at the Bay Area than anything else.
Nice.
It was crazy. Bob Sumner he had a show at the Comedy Store that he put me on a bunch, and all the comics I met at the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. It was awesome. But now they don't do it anymore.
Yeah. So you got started. How long did you start?
Say that again.
How long ago did you start?
It's like 12 years ago, 11 or 12.
And you did a couple years here, and then out to Seattle.
Yep.
What brought you to Seattle?
So
I'll get a question in a second. 'Cause, you know what I mean? So go ahead. Yeah.
Look at my guests.
And Jack, shut up. So I was here. So when I moved out, I guess I got to back up. So what brought me out here was I was an operations manager at Yahoo in Hillsboro, Oregon, and I would come out to Boston all the time, and I just loved it. And I always wanted to move out here, and so in I think it's 2007. I was like, okay, I want to get a job in Boston, have them pay to move me out, and live it out in Boston. That happened. The company moved me out. I was a director of technical support for this online data storage company.
Making some good money?
Yes, exactly. So this is why I moved. I was making great money. Yes.
Not funny.
Making great money and started stand-up, and then the company that paid to move me out here laid me off. And so I was like, man, I was living in Quincy, had a dope place that overlooked like the water, and I was like, well, I can't afford this anymore, so now what am I going to do? And my buddy was like, hey, I just kicked my buddy in Seattle. He was like, I just kicked my brother out. He's been doing drugs and stuff. He goes, I got a room. You can just pay $500 a month and move out to Seattle. So I was like, all right, let me look at the comedy scene, and I was getting like $650 a month in unemployment.
All right, there you go.
So, and it was like 2008. So I was like, all right. So then moved to Seattle, and then I was like, I have no excuse not to grind as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so I just busted my ass in Seattle, and then I think like a year and a half after that, I got the house MC job at Parlor Live in Bellevue, Washington.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who did you come up with at that time in Seattle?
In Seattle,
Yeah.
Kane Holloway, Andrew Rivers. Trying to think of some of the other guys that came up with.
Does it Quincy Carter come to Bell? Quincy Carter?
Quincy Carter?
Yeah.
No.
Quincy Jones, I'm sorry.
Quincy Jones, yeah,
Sorry,
I know Quincy.
Quincy.
I know
Yeah.
Quincy Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Kwame, I think that's his real name.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is that?
Okay, yeah.
I think that's his real name. But yeah, I know Quincy, and I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, because it seems like Seattle to me, I always get great feedback from Seattle. They said it's a great city to come up doing comedy. You know, it's like, you know, people there are kind of like, I mean, what do you describe like the type of people there? I mean, it's like kind of like earthy, crunchy type people. They're into like, you know.
So in Seattle, you have it's kind of like you have different scenes. Like Tacoma was kind of I would equate Tacoma comics kind of more like with like Boston comics, and then Seattle with kind of like Cambridge, I guess. Like maybe that's
Because Tacoma's only like what, half hour away. Like,
yeah.
That's interesting.
But they were more like I would kind of think of them more as like grimier, down and dirty type comics,
right.
You know. And actually that's kind of more now, I guess, because when we were doing it, we. You know, it was weird because I think like the scene here in Boston at the time when I moved, this is around like 2008-ish, 9. I felt like I don't think the scene was as good here as it is now. I think the scene's probably better here now. I mean, I'm not in it, like, you know, but Boston. I think it's better now than it was like when I from what I understand. And Seattle's was hopping when I moved there. Oh, what was that?
Probably FedEx.
Oh, gotcha.
we're all here. I don't know.
It's like, but yeah, it's you have like the alt scene in Seattle.
Okay.
And which I wasn't a big part of.
So you're there for, I know, we were there for like 08 to 13, is that roughly?
Yeah.
And then you're down in LA since then.
Yeah.
So you've almost been in LA as long as you've been anywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. God, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I've like since I've been here, I was talking to Kelly McFarland and a couple other people, and I was like, oh man, I want to move back so bad. And Kelly's like, come back.
Really?
Come back.
Why is that? You just only LA?
Well, one, I just I don't know. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. Like I was talking to Bulger when we were at Big Sky Festival, and he was talking about. I was like, so do you have any aspirations like to like go to LA or New York, and he was telling me about when he was in New York before, but he's like so happy. He's like, I love doing stand up. and I'm happy here, and I'm happy doing stand up. And then I was talking to Noonan, and Noonan was talking
Brian
about
Galacki, the same thing.
dude. Yeah, and I was just like, and it's like the enjoyment of stand up, and in LA, I think you lose a lot of that because there's all this other shit that you're like worried about, like I got to audition for this, and I was just thinking about I really don't give a fuck about that. So why am I trying to stress so much about it? When it's like stand up, I've always said whatever happens in my life, I'll always do stand up, and like people will ask me like, what's your ideal career or ideal scenario? And I always say I love before the cartoon Bill Burr's career. Like he's respected by comics, does A rooms or theaters, and he does some acting stuff, but it's always like bit parts.
Yeah,
and it's never a stretch. Like you don't watch a movie and be like, oh fuck, I forgot that was Bill Burr. You're just like, oh, it's Bill Burr playing the fucking whatever, And I think that's be a dope career, Yeah. And I think I don't think I necessarily have to be in LA to do that. If if it's just bit parts or like the buddy, I mean, fuck. I love stand up, and I think I've gotten away from the passion of like the enjoyment of stand up. Okay. Like everybody, all my buddies that moved from Seattle to LA, and actually from like Plouffe when moving from Boston to LA, it's like. All of us have talked about like it's so much harder. Like it feels like it's harder coming up with new material. I don't know if it's because you're stressing about all this other outside shit, But we all definitely felt it.
That's interesting. Coming up with new material. I haven't heard. I mean, obviously I've heard that like having industry. It's weird to have to deal with the industry stuff. But the new material. Maybe it's just the proximity to people out here. I feel like if you're just not in a fucking car all day, so you see someone doing some goofy shit or reminds you of something, I don't know. That's because I've never heard that about new material. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, and it's like I used to pride myself on for a year I recorded an album I think in like 2013ish, and I somehow the domain jokeaweek.com and ajokeaweek.com were available, and I bought them both. And after I recorded an album to kind of like challenge myself. For a year, I released videos of like kind of documentary style of me working out new jokes every week. That's fucking smart. Yeah, and I would like self-interview. I'd say, this week I'm working on this joke, and then I would show clips of me doing it at open mics and shows, and then at the end I'd be like, okay, this is what I like about the joke, this is what I don't like. That's a great idea. And I'm going to do it again after I record this next album. So I did that for a year, and then fucking got to LA, and I was just like, man, I'm like, this just feels like it's struggling trying to, thinking of new shit, but
LA is kind of an interesting place, Would you, if you had what part of LA are you at?
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, okay.
Inglewood.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Inglewood.
Yeah.
Okay, right where the Bay Areas are. The Bay Area blacks are. Because that's what usually I've heard.
The urban youths. That's what the news always says. Oh, the urban youth. Two urban youths. We're like, I know what you're trying to say. That's slick.
Coming from, do you get a lot of... I'm sure, in LA, there's a lot of Boston comics that started in Boston and that are in LA. Do you guys kind of connect and kind of have a sense of community out there? Hey, you're a Boston guy. I'll look out for you type of thing, or is it just more of everyone's out for themselves pretty much? And if you guys cross paths, you cross paths at some point.
I think it's kind of the cross. It's not so much like everybody's out for themselves in a dickish way. It's kind of like everybody I think is all. This is what I see the boards back when they had the Kibitz board thing here, and then I'd see drama on the Seattle board, and I would look at it and people infighting and just stupid shit in the community, and I'd be like, you guys realize none of this shit matters. You get to LA, nobody gives a fuck about any of this stuff, and it's I think there's a sense of everybody knows that we're all in LA, and I'm sure it's probably like this in New York, but in LA, everybody knows you're kind of trying to find your way, and so it is you're kind of on your own thing, but you see somebody, hey man, what's up at the store? You're like, hey man, how you been? And you have that bonding there, but it's not I haven't had it where it's hey, fucking let's all get together and go do, hang out on this point,
Yeah.
It's more, unless it's like, an individual people that you're friends with, like Plouf's my roommate. And
Oh, no shit.
Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle Plouffe.
Oh, Kyle.
And then,
Fucking Kyle.
yeah, fucking Kyle. And then, like Kane Holloway, my buddy, moved from Seattle. That's all, the co-host of the podcast. Like we always hang out and stuff like that and stuff. And then like guys I met at open mics down in LA and stuff that I'm buddies with and everything. But yeah, I mean that's, and like if somebody comes out from here that comes out there, I always open up my place if they ever need a place to stay, which you two also, if you ever come out to LA.
Hey, man.
I'll sleep in bed with you. I'll be the bottom.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's comfy there.
What's crazy is
I'm like this little spoon of Jay. I'll be big spoon with that tick on your
I'm like,
back.
Randy, I have a guest bed. You're like, no, that's cool.
Yeah, Randy's, I'm like that. I'm like that because I just need emotional support everywhere I can get it. Every stuff like you were saying, like with the Big Pine Festival, and also being because ideally, I mean, you would be considered a producer, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then how does that? Do you like when that year comes around and like comedians are like, I'm sure they'll email you or contact you, say hey, and be like, hey, this. Do you like that part of the other side of the business? Aside from performing, like the producing, networking.
Do I like that?
Yeah.
I like the networking part. I feel like I'm good at networking.
Mm-hmm.
Even at my festival, when we do like sit downs where people can talk to us, industry panels and stuff like that. I've done those at Big Sky. When I went to Big Sky, I was in an industry panel, and I wasn't a comic, And my whole push is at a festival, stage time. What you do on stage is least important at a festival, in my opinion.
Okay.
Out of, I mean, it's still important, but it's one of the least important. The most important thing at a festival for me is making connections. You're at a place where it's not just people from your state. It's people from all over the U.S. usually, if it's done right. We pick people from everywhere. And you can build those relationships so when you do go somewhere, you have place maybe to stay.
Absolutely.
Something to do.
Yeah.
Someone that's in someone's ear at a different club that they work at in a different state. Because you were bringing up the importance of moving to L.A. or New York. I don't think as a stand-up, it shouldn't be your main goal. It shouldn't be to get to L.A. or to New York. Your goal should be to get on the road.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Good point.
That's it. I mean, if you want to be a comic, but if you want to be an actor, go to L.A.
Yeah.
Or if where you're living there's not a big enough scene, go to New York if you're mainly a stand-up. You know what I mean, in my opinion. But if you live in a big enough city, stay there. Polish the 15 minutes you got. Always be writing. Don't have the importance that you have to turn over product right away when you're new. Just get polished at 15 and get on the road.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I do love to produce, but I love being a comic more.
Yeah.
So this year, actually, this being our third year of the festival, since we've kind of figured things out and we're not working as hard on the festival, because last 2 years I've probably pushed stand-up a little bit to the side to make sure this thing works.
Yeah.
And this year I'm like, I'm not doing that. This year I'm going to work on my stand-up and get on the road. And luckily, for me, luck worked out. Jay has taken me some places, and this is important, is to see if my material now works at other places.
Randy's
dude.
perfect position. I mean,
man. That's something like that. I mean, you realize how fucking quick a lot of your time is regional dog shit. Not that it's dog shit, but it just doesn't play. His references just don't make sense. Like I'm talking about Dominican people and fucking in Arizona. They're like, we have Mexicans out here with no fucking idea, dude. Like simple shit like that, like little things like that you don't even think about. Like
in the Dominicans' defense, they've been here for a very long time. We should have caught up.
If I say Puerto Rican, everyone knows what they are.
Dude, it's so funny. I grew up in the Northwest, Oregon and Washington, right?
Yeah.
And on the West Coast, Mexicans, right? I lived in Tampa for like a year, and we used to play hoop at night. And this one guy, one night, he didn't show up for whatever, and I go, hey man, what's that one Mexican dude? And everybody just started laughing. They go, Mexican dude? He goes, he's not Mexican, he's Puerto Rican. I was like, fuck. I'm white, black, Mexican, Asian.
Dude, that's so funny. But I do that when I visit other countries. I'll ask like the local people, like who are like your Mexicans? Like, what do you mean? Like who works in the kitchen? Cleans the places. Like who's the one that do all the work? Who gets shit? Like Lebanon. It's like they're the Indian people or whatever. It's like it's
hilarious. I wanted to also say, I'm piggybacking on what Jack was saying. I think, and also kind of talking about like the moving to LA thing. so much shit right now with YouTube. Like you can get discovered anywhere from anywhere. And I actually look at my buddy Kev, which I've talked to Jack about this. You guys know Kev on Stage? Kevin Fredericks.
I've heard. I know of him. I don't know him personally.
YouTube, so I knew Kev from Seattle. We used to do shows, and when he was first starting out, and he would do great, and he was clean, worked clean, and I was like, oh, you're a Christian comic, because he's a Christian. And he was like, I'm just a comic that happens to be Christian. I was like, got it. Moved to LA, like a lot of stuff happened for him. He was like a director of talent for All Def Digital and stuff. But Kev, who has I think 3 million followers across social media. Okay. Last year he did it, and he's doing it again this year. He set up his own tour, The Real Comedians of Social Media. It's him, Tony Baker, another awesome comic, and Tahir Moore, who's another awesome comic. And they do 80 plus dates, one-nighters, churches, selling them out and
raking it in.
Yeah, and crushing it. And Kev just posted a thing about he got turned down by representation recently, but I was talking to him about it before. I'm like, dude, they're going to want part of your tour money in this. He's like, they're not getting. He's like, yeah.
Well, that's probably why they turned him. They just told me they're not getting any piece of that. Of course, any agent.
Should they?
Should they? Yeah, if he did all the fucking legwork.
And he's like grassroots. He's built this empire, this Kev on Stage empire, and now he's got 3 podcasts. We do a podcast together, me and him, called Aska, where we interview people you usually wouldn't get to interact with. Like we interviewed a meth head, we interviewed a porn star, all this stuff, right?
Flat earther.
Yeah, we just did the flat earther. It was just nuts.
Special ed tour.
But it's crazy, and I've also kind of adjusted my mentality as a stand-up in the sense of looking at Kev and Tahir and Tony. They have every day they're posting videos on Instagram, these short clips where they Tony Baker has a thing where he'll take animal videos and then he does voices for them.
Oh, nice.
And they go crazy for him. And so for the longest I was like, I'm a stand-up, I'm old school, I respect my art, just follow my stand-up. But I'm like, I was just being stubborn. So now my thing is, I told Kev, I was like, I'm learning from him. I've been doing stand-up longer than him, but I'm learning the other side of it, which you got to do. And so I'm like, every day I got to post some type of social media thing. And so that's what I've been doing since January 1st. And it's the first couple times I told Kev, I was like, I posted my stupid. Can we swear on this?
Of course.
Yeah, I was like, I posted my stupid.
Smoking weed and drinking.
That's a good point. Yeah. I was like, I posted my stupid fucking video today, and Kev was like, it's going to feel weird.
That's that Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that Christian comic running off.
So check this out.
Well, I fucking feel that, but I get what you're saying, though, because I felt the same weirdness just posting anything on social media to begin with, because when I wasn't a comedian, I didn't give a shit. I wasn't on the fucking thing. But now it's like, oh well, you got to put yourself out there because that's part of the job.
It's crazy, and so Kev has Tony and Tahir go with him. Tahir hosts, Tony Baker features for him at these churches. And Tony got sick, so Kev hits me up and he's like, hey, can you want to do a weekend where you'll feature for me? And I was like, sure. At black churches, we did.
Hey now.
Yeah, we did Louisiana, Lafayette. We did Lafayette, San Antonio, and I think it was Austin. And the first show, I'm doing 30 minutes.
Clean, squeaky.
When you say squeaky, it was to the level where we were at Flappers, and Kev was working out a joke. He was doing a joke about how he likes to pee sitting down. And he was like, sometimes I'll cross my leg, blah, blah, blah. And at Flappers, as he was working out, I was like, dude, you should say, you have to tuck, of course. And he goes, oh, Jay, you can't say tuck. I was like, what? He goes, you can't say tuck at church. And I'm like, it's not even like a sexual thing. He goes, nah, you can't do it. And I was like, what? And this is before I'm going out with it, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck am I going to say?
So there's a bunch of guys with just untucked shirts, just not because they want to
do you have a lot of cool material?
I figured it out.
I text him.
The money was right. I sorted it out.
Yeah. I texted him before he went, and he didn't get back to me. And then he texted me afterwards, and he's like, "Sorry, texting you back." He goes, "But I was the first time I was actually nervous to go on stage in a long time."
In 8 years, I was pacing, and Kev's like, he's like, you're gonna be fine, and I'm just like, and it was I'd say it was probably 75%, well, no, I'd say it was like 50-50. 50-50 nervous for myself, and then the other 50 is like, I just don't want to do anything to disrespect what Kev's built and like his
to fuck
audience.
his shit up.
You said you weren't nervous. He wasn't nervous to be funny. He was nervous that you said you were nervous that I was going to slip and say a bad word. That was the nervous part.
yeah.
Like, even if I'm just like, Jesus Christ, and people are like, what? Dude.
That's how I feel.
Dude,
I'm so
it was
new.
terrifying. But like after the first show, and you're like, okay, this is good. And then I have a joke about how the premise of the joke is you can pluralize pretty much any group, but as a white guy, if I say blacks, that sounds weird.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't. I love that.
And Kev loves this joke, and he was like, "You should open with that." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wait, this is." I'm like, "There's so many factors."
I would think about it like that would be a very. It kind of might work in a black church, man. Like, because like the one white guy coming in talking about.
Well, here's all the factors you have to think of. So, people are coming to this tour for Kev, Tony, and Tahir. Mm-hmm. The poster, this huge, on the screen is those three guys. Tahir comes out and he's like, kills it, and then Tahir's like, "Hey, not sure if you heard." Tony's sick, so he's not here. So here's this white guy, Big Irish Jay, and then I'm going to open with that. But and the way the joke ends is I'm like, I go through all. Basically, I say a buddy's moving to L.A. and he's asking me about the different areas. He's like, "What are the people like in Glendale?" I was like, "You got everybody, but mainly Armenians." And he's like, "Well, okay, what about West Hollywood?" It's like, again, you got everybody, but mainly gays. He's like, "Well, where do you live?" And I go, "I live in Hawthorne in Inglewood." And he's like, "Oh, what are the people like there?" I was like, "Oh, it's mainly blacks." He's like, "Whoa, dude." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, you can't say blacks." And I'm like, "I pluralized every other group. I just threw an S on black." He's like, "I can't say that." And then I say in the joke, I'm like, then I tried to argue him. I was like, "Dude, if across the street there's a group of black guys," I'm like, "Hey, look, there's some blacks." I'm like, it does sound bad. But the way the joke ends is I was like, the only other group that sounds weird when you pluralize it is whites. And usually in the joke I'll be like, "Hey, look, there's a bunch of fucking whites, right?" But I go, "But nobody really says that, right? Unless it's a bunch of fucking blacks." Yeah. That's how the joke ends. And so I had to take out fuck and said, but I did the whites and the blacks thing. And the first time I did it, it's that deal where you throw the punchline out and you're like, "Oh God, please let this work," because I'm starting with this, and if this tanks, I don't know what's going to happen. Luckily, it did great, and then I was like, phew. And then I was good after that first show. But it's been, and Kev's audience, they're the best. They're like, everybody's so supportive.
The slapping was loud.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
They're there to laugh.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. That's a beautiful thing when people are actually there to laugh, and not get offended and just have a good time. And
that's the best.
And love,
The worst when you surprise them with comedy, like at an open mic, and there's just people eating, and all of a sudden you start.
That's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Field surprise comedy show. It's like, oh shit, here we go.
Have you guys done churches?
No, dude, I've done. The cleanest thing I had to do was at a country club. And that
was that like a corporate
I went a little bit harder than I would have liked.
I was at a charity benefit. I was at a talent show at a church. I was like when I was like 8 months in.
I did
5 off the top.
It was rough.
I think for myself, I did a show for a group of Orthodox Jews.
Really?
Yeah.
They wheeled at the black guy.
Yeah. But I'm like, hey, I'm Orthodox Christian.
Yeah.
Hey!
Same thing.
So I was like, we're the same.
Shows you how little Chase knows about religion.
I have no idea what,
Same thing. Orthodox, right?
I just said Orthodox, they're Orthodox.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're good, right? Like, we're cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, this is unorthodox, but we'll get this figured out.
That's a weird. I don't even know that's weird. I would say I didn't swear. I couldn't swear, but I'm not really dirty anyways. But or whatever that terminology is.
Yeah,
which always varies.
Yeah.
Do you guys have you done corporate gigs?
No, not yet.
No.
Fundraisers,
but not corporate.
What?
Yeah.
Have you done corporate?
I've done it. Lower end corporate, but I had to roast somebody once at a Christmas function. 15 minutes.
How was that?
For 15 minutes?
It was awful. while they were eating.
Isn't it weird? It must be hard to roast someone you don't know.
Oh, well, especially a corporate gig when they're like, hey, or the worst is it's a corporate gig, you're walking in, and as you're walking in, they're like, okay, show's going to start in like 5 minutes. So that's Jerry over there. He's our CEO. Can you make fun of him? And you're like, I don't even fucking know this guy. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know, they're like, are you going to tell me his life story in 5 minutes? I'm not a big fan of corporate gigs.
Let me tell you,
Do you do a lot of them?
I'll say whatever for that check.
The checks are good. Even in the beginning, if you do some smaller end stuff, I mean, you can make as a new comic $300 for 20 minutes, and
Shit,
you don't
I
really.
gotta find some of
You
those
may not,
fucking
you may not have
spots.
it, but sometimes it works out. I did it for.
You gotta be prepared to eat shit.
The first one I did was I can't. It was like a. It was like a men's group.
Did you do
Grinder again?
Did you do jokes at gay bars?
It was a weird thing. They had like these like gold chains that like it looked like a cult. It was like a cult for sure.
Total eyes wide shut party.
It was half kids, half parents, and
Fucking
Bay Area.
It was a
lights
pizza
on.
shop in DC.
Lights on, a
R. Kelly hired you?
4-foot cord from the system.
Some of Jay's friends from the Bay Area.
Right next to the system.
They paid him like $1,000. All I had to do was swallow. What?
We got paid well. It actually went well. Actually, believe it or not, the kids had a good time, but just did 20 minutes.
Okay.
How long you been in the game?
4 years.
Telling jokes? Nice.
4 years. Yeah.
So you
Not that
started.
long.
So, it was like halfway in. You started producing.
Halfway in, yeah. So Hillary, who I run the festival with, she,
Shout out Hillary.
I started at
Hillary Hudson.
I started at 32 a little later, and she's like, well, I think the only way you're going to get seen soon in this business is not going to be just stand up alone. You're going to have something else for people to know you from. And so she goes, if we get offered this festival, I want to take it because I think it'll move some steps along, And she was 100% right. I mean, after the first year, we got in with the House of Comedy. They come, they help us with the festival now. Rick Bronson is amazing. He's there for us. And now we have Jeff Singer helping us out, who runs New Faces for Montreal Just for Laughs.
Nice.
He's come on now. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, and I can call a lot of people not because of my stand-up, but because of the festival.
Yeah.
Because
the brand is
That's
good.
smart.
And then hopefully when
I
the
started
time
late
is
too, man. I
right.
started 33. Same shit.
Really? Okay, yeah. He
I
started
get you
too,
both
yeah.
beat. All right. We can,
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jay. No
You know how
way,
old I
dude.
am?
Do you know?
I mean,
I'll guess. I can
I was
guess.
going to say,
I'm good
I
at
would say
this.
you're in your late 30s, brother. Like 38.
No.
But
Well, yeah. Well, shit.
He's not a girl.
42.
You're mad.
42. Going a strong 42. No?
in May, I'll be 48. Oh.
Whoa.
I knew he was in his fucking 40s. I knew you were in your 40s. Because you're like, I don't
No wonder he's on the black comedy tour.
Yeah,
He ages like a black guy.
Exactly.
Tell him fat don't crack. You know?
Look good, man.
Great. That looks great, man. I didn't know for like the first 2 years. I knew this guy how old he was. Everybody's always
I
amazed.
started late too. The one thing, when did you start? How old are you? Like 52?
Yeah. I'm the face of no reparations. So, popping it.
Sorry. Laughing hard.
I guess I started. I guess there's a two-part answer to that question. I feel like every time somebody asks me that question, it's the day that you probably would start like an open mic. A lot of people reference that, like the first open mic. Then there's a second part for me. It's like, okay, when did I actually take it like seriously? Because you're not really doing a lot of shows when you just do an open mic and you just kind of one day a month or one day a week, whatever. And then you start finding out your flow. You start going. My first open mic was 2013.
Okay.
So 6 years.
How old are you?
I just turned 38 Sunday.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You look great too. See, we all look good. I actually, you know what I found is, I think I used to teach MMA a long time ago. I used to
No
teach
shit,
martial.
dude.
Yeah, I had a school for like 2 years and a long time ago.
Are you like badass, dude?
Nah, I'm old and fat now. But
Did you have a couple fights on your belt?
I took like third in the World Sport Jiu-Jitsu thing, it was again.
So you're that big and you can fight, dude. I would have assumed.
Dude, he does this thing where he puts his like hand like
the 1 inch punch,
a 1 inch for my chest, and then he fucking does this thing and he hits me and knocks the wind out of me.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like fucking 300 some pounds.
I'm from an inch away, dude. He fucking
She's like, fuck
destroys.
that.
I'm not impressed.
Well, I'm 6'4", 250. And the way
you're
he
not a
moved,
small guy.
Oh, you're tall too, huh?
oh yeah, and the way he moved me, I was impressed.
No, but
It's the heaviest podcast.
I noticed with like comedians and martial artists, comedians if they're not like heavy drug users, like not counting. I don't count weed as like a heavy drug.
Oh,
but
thanks for letting me slide on that one.
What's up?
Thanks for letting me slide on that.
Everybody, most of my
too.
friends, but if you're not like a heavy drug user, I found that comics and also martial artists, I think, age really well. You know, I don't know if it's because of the laughter or it's the, I don't know what it is, but most of the comics I know that aren't like drug abusers look good for their age. All of them.
Yeah.
You know.
That doesn't bode well for me.
And I also think with us starting, all of us starting late, I think they're the one, because I think probably when you initially asked, all of us would be like, oh, I wish I started younger. Would you say that?
I mean, I wish I did everything I enjoyed younger. Like, I wish I had sex
100%.
first.
The only advantage,
yes, of course, but I do agree with you. Like, there's always. I started when I started. Like what the fuck am I gonna? Like,
and I also think the advantage of starting when you're older is, they always talk about you takes however long to find your voice.
Yeah.
And I think is if you start older, you are who you are pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I started when I was like 36, 37 or whatever. I know who I am as a man. So I that kind of like Plouf's. I have the first tape. I have the tape of the first time I ever went on stage, which is brutal.
Oh.
But Plouf was watching it, and he was like, even though I know it's obviously your first time, he goes, I can still see like your voice already in that, which I think is
kind of cool.
I had to follow my first open mic. I had Gary Goldman dropped in. He went on. He went on before me.
Oh my god!
So I saw.
Turn on the left.
Yeah.
Gary was the first comedian I ever saw do stand up like live, like where you can really see them.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, I was like, oh, this guy's a really big guy. That's the first thing I saw. Then I'm like, oh, he's a comedian, and he went up, and I'm just like, man, this guy is like really. This was that Dick Doherty vault. Remember the vault?
And you probably didn't even know he was like. You probably just thought he was some other open micer.
He's
this fucking guy.
He's fucking murdering. Like, wow, I gotta follow.
Well, I didn't know I didn't know what the heck comedy was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was Gary Goldman just watching him murder, and you're like, oh shit.
First of all, when he walked in, I'm like, is that Ronnie Cycli? Like, what the fuck? He reminds me of Ronnie Cycli from Miami Heat. I'm just
totally.
Like, and then he got his great hair. I'm like, oh, maybe he's with a really hot girl at a comedy club. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah. Then he went up and he fucking like just did not what I did.
Oh yeah. No, dude.
I was like, what?
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Dude, I always say Gary, I think, is one of the greatest comics at getting every ounce out of a bit.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking rings it out. Bob Marley, too. Bob Marley, who a lot of people...
I haven't seen him live yet.
Oh, dude. I had seen... The same with me. Like, I hadn't seen him live. I'd seen all these tapes and shit. And then I worked with him in Florida about a year and a half ago. I've told Jack about this, that I, like, was... And it was clean, but it was edgy. And I literally was watching him like... Dude, do we even do the same thing? I was like, this guy is fucking next level, and from that, I'm like, he's in my top 5 easy of greatest comics I've ever seen. Bob Marley is unbelievable,
live,
dude.
Man. He does a Wilbur like twice a year,
dude.
And they line up for it.
There's some comic, I forget who it was, that's a really well-respected comic. I forget who we were talking about it, and he was saying that's the one comic that I think he was saying like he paid for his parents to go see him. That he was like, he bought tickets for. He's like, you got to see this guy. Yeah. And what's crazy is, outside of the comedy community and the outside of the East Coast, like, people don't really fucking know him.
But he made a huge career from South out here.
He should be a household name.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
Who's your go-to guys that you would say that you enjoy their comedy or
Jack?
Yes.
Don't say me.
Just because on the road with
weirdly enough, when I started comedy, I wouldn't say I was a regular comedy watcher. My dad was big into it, so I knew guys like the Rodney Dangerfield and stuff like that. But one of my favorites that I found when I started comedy, Boston guy Mike Birbiglia is one of my, I consider myself a storyteller. I like to tell stories, and I believe that man does it the best, one of the best at least, not the best, but one of the best for sure. I'm a big Tom Segura fan too. I really enjoy him. Jim Jeffries, I like
strong.
He's a great storyteller too.
Strong whites. They're all good.
Tom Segura is half Hispanic.
He is. He actually is. That's not good.
He speaks Spanish.
And Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. is too. Yes,
he's Mexican, right?
He was born in Mexico.
He's born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Those are all great. Jim Jeffries is.
Who's your guys'?
Oh, I started off with George Carlin. When I was a kid, that was the first guy I saw. I was like fucking blown away. And then now, I mean, Bill Burr for
Yeah.
sure. Jim Norton, I love. Patrice was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a beast. But the usual suspects. But the one that really got me, like that made me fall in love with was George Carlin. I saw him in 1992 when I was like 8 years old or 9 years old, something like that. He just fucking blew me away. I was like, that's a thing. Like you could be that smart and that funny at the same time. It's unbelievable. And he's getting paid for it. I was fucking blown away by that.
Yeah.
Sinbad, I just wanted to throw.
Oh, Sinbad!
He was huge.
I love Sinbad, dude.
And clean.
I saw
100%
him. I saw him in Portland, and he fucking murdered. He just kept his feature on. He didn't write shit. He just came, he called his feature back up, and they just bullshitted with his feature for 45, 50 minutes. Crushed, and then closed out playing a dope ass song. He brought out his song. I'm gonna play out, and he just fucking. I was like, what the fuck was this?
Sinbad.
Murdered.
Yeah, he's fucking fantastic. That guy probably has maybe 8 or 9 different hours, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And just
Easy.
Yeah.
I heard Brian Regan does that, dude. I heard him do 2 different hours if he's doing 2 shows.
Well, you know about Marley's
fucking
world
insane is-
record?
What is that?
Well, I think it got broke
insane.
recently. He held, Chappelle had I think Cook had the record for a while, then Chappelle, then Marley broke it, but it was the longest stand-up set, and I think it was 40-some hours.
Whoa.
But here's what's crazy. He did not repeat a joke for 17 hours.
17, yeah.
He went 17 hours without repeating a joke.
That's insane.
You're like, Chase, what the fuck?
You can't even
I would just forget. What I'm talking. I would just forget I was talking about the same subject
Yeah.
after 17 hours.
Oh, for sure.
Is there
He didn't repeat it.
Is there anything that you can do for 17 hours straight?
Yeah,
Forget
that's what
about
I'm
comedy.
That's about it.
Well, you think he'd be delirious, so delirious at
I
one
know,
point
dude.
that how do you remember that you didn't tell it? But he does great crowd work, so he has the ability to. I mean, his crowd work is insane. So he
so
does
good.
have that ability to just do that for a long period of time. I'm assuming because he's just brilliant.
I mean,
My
you
guys
hear about
are,
shit like that. It's like, why am I even trying?
That's because that's just remarkable. That's not even. I've seen guys like Godfrey do 3 different hours.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And then just be oh, this is nothing. I got another one in the bag. I'm like, I don't. Where's the bag? I don't have a bag. How cheap is the bag? Number one, because I want to buy this bag. I think for me, for comedy was John Ritter was the first comedian I saw on
Three's Company.
Three's Company.
Love John.
And then I was with my mom watching it, and I was like, oh, this guy's fucking hilarious. Like him and Felipe and Larry and all those characters.
Yeah.
John Ritter was my guy.
I love that pick. Out of all the people I've ever heard say what their comedians are, I've never heard John Ritter, and I love that fucking choice. That's a great choice.
I love that guy, man.
That makes me think of Tim Conway on the old Carol Burnett show.
Oh,
I used to
man,
fucking
dude,
love
yeah.
Tim Conway on that.
Yeah. And then it was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, and then Martin Lawrence was the one for me because I was a '90s kid. So Martin was like, "Oh, this guy's the show." Because I didn't really think about stand-up comedy until later in my years. Because first when I would see someone doing stand-up comedy, I'd be like, "That shit looks fucking far away. I can't do that." These guys are
I agree.
you know what I mean? Just huge.
I don't think Martin gets enough credit for his stand-up.
He does
Hosting
Dude,
that fucking show,
Dude, yeah, that and I just remember, and his act outs were so fucking good.
Yeah.
I remember his joke about he said if he went to jail he wouldn't wipe his ass or shower. I mean, then he's just the way he's walking around.
Shit at the same time.
Oh, dude, dude. I don't think he gets enough credit for how great his stand-up was.
I think the comedians that really understood that test of time, that time during that time, because at that time it was everyone had their different, Def Comedy Jam was its own thing that put so many comedians on the map.
A lot of the blacks,
I've heard
the urban youths.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about Eddie Murphy, then I would say obviously Bill Burr's he's my. I mean, right now he's
I think the guys that are touring right now, he's out of control.
Godfrey, Donnell Rawlings, another one.
Donnell of fucking beast.
me and Randy, we produce shows up here in Boston, and we bring him every year, and I'll let Randy tell you.
Yeah, we did the Comedy Secure show every year. So Chase's mother, I guess, worked at the Perkins School for the Blind. So we to do a couple charity shows and donate the money to them, donate the proceeds to them. we bring Donnell, and we brought Dean Del Rey up a few times. We brought Donnell back for the third year, and this was like this past December. Great lineup, had a great time, filled the room, sold it out, and he fucking did like an hour and a half and just murdered so hard. He got off stage, he's like, "Yo, do you guys have the tape? You guys have a tape?" And I'm like, because he saw my brother, I did a set, my brother filmed it for my set. He's like, "Yo, did your brother run that camera the whole thing?" He's like, "That's my special right there." He's like, "I need that." He's like, "I need to write all that shit down." Like, and he murdered.
Did you have the set for him?
No. And the house didn't turn on the house camera because it's in his contract not to. So the house.
I think he was fucking bummed.
I think
he's upset at me, man. I texted him, he didn't text me back. I'm like, man, I do usually, man, but fucking.
Yeah, he's like, "I know we did." He's like, "I didn't tell my brother to run just for the whole thing," and the house shut it off because it was in his rider or whatever.
I think one of like a great sign of a sign of a great comedian is when you remember their bits.
Yo,
I remember actually Bob Kelly was talking on it was a Remembering Patrice podcast. It was Bobby Kelly, Dane Cook, Dan Soder, and Joe DeRosa, and he was talking about how like coming up, you just want to be funny, and you like laugh every 30 seconds. And he's like, but with Patrice, sometimes he'd go a minute, 2 minutes, no laugh. But when he would hit the punchline, it would fucking erupt. And Bobby was saying, he's like, I'm still trying to get to the point where Patrice was, where now I want him not so much to laugh as I want him to listen and then laugh.
Yeah.
Because he was saying like, somebody will leave and one person will be like, you're like, "Oh man, that joke you did about, you know what? You're funny, man. You're funny." Versus he wants people to be like, "Man, when you did the bit about you were this," and like can quote it. And I just remember Donnell, his bit about the Popeye's chicken lady.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Girl, you're gonna love our chicken with her," and he's like, "Bitch, we ain't gonna sell no chicken." She's just like, "Girl, you're gonna love that." And then he had one about like white people in rock music where like, "It was you," and then he just starts, "It was," in his face and everything. Oh fuck, dude, I was dying. He's another fucking crusher.
And he's a guy who does he tours the fuck out of it. Like, so he's like another guy, one of these guys that like, I don't know how he's not as famous as the next guy.
Dude.
Like, he's fucking that good. Dude.
Yeah.
But he's building. I mean, like you said, he's building his audience fucking, and he's
There's so many people that like that aren't necessarily household names that are so strong. Earthquake. Have you guys ever seen Earthquake?
Dude, Earthquake. I used to watch all sorts of BT. Earthquake is fucking tremendous, dude.
And like the nicest dude. I interviewed him on this podcast at the Parlor, and I was talking to him about how like I'm like, "Dude, you hit a punchline, room erupts." And before that's even died down, you don't even give him. You just keep hitting. And he was like, at the time he goes, "I can't handle the silence." He's like,
also you just murder that hard,
dude. He was like, "I'm not." He goes, "I'm not like these comics that I'm comfortable in the silence." He's like, I gotta keep hitting it. Yeah. Wow. And I was just like, well, it's fucking working for you, just a crusher, dude. It's so many beasts.
Oh, I mean, that's why I love comedy, stand-up comedy, because I feel like every show can be another opportunity or an experience to see another thing that you've never seen before.
100%.
Right?
There's like, the live aspect to it. Like, it's like, oh, just being in the room for that fucking, watch somebody go wall to wall on a murder set. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
When the whole room's rocking together, everyone's fucking,
And it's the worst when you don't have it on tape. I was at Laughs Unlimited, and there's a guy in the front room that I kept messing with and calling back to, and like it was awesome set, and I get done, and Jen, manager there, she was like, "You should have got that on tape." And I was like, "I know." I was like, idiot. It's got to record every set.
That's the time that we're living in now, man. Right? Back in the days, it's like people just lived in the moment, and like if you went to a Guns N' Roses concert or something, and you didn't go, and your neighbor's gonna tell you next, like, "Man, you should have fucking been at that Guns N' Roses concert." And that was like, that's what you had to feel like, or not,
But I think that is a part of the fun of live comedy. I think it's a little bit of the resurgence. The same thing with live music. Like, people, like most bands are making money, touring live and doing that kind of shit. They're not making their money selling CDs, so the live experience is sort of, there's like a nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
Almost. I don't know. I kind of get that sense. People are like looking for shit to do. I mean, like,
it's crazy too. For this Ask Us show, we interviewed. She's the producer of Toby Way, this rapper, I'm messing up. Kev loves him and introduced me to him, and I was like, this guy's dope. But his producer is female. I guess lady is disrespectful or female's disrespectful.
My mom.
I was like, because I asked her a question in the thing. I was like, being a female producer, and Kev's like, you can't say female. You gotta say. I'm like, fuck, dude. I don't know.
Can't say female.
I don't know, dude. But anyways,
in the black community, females is disrespectful.
No, I think it's just you're not supposed to say female or lady.
She's just a
woman. What word is
just a producer.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it was.
Is that what you're trying? I'm sure that's what it was.
I don't remember. I just remember in the middle of the podcast, I was like, wait, we can't. I'm like, but she is a female producer. You know, I was like, but anyways, but one of the things they say in the music industry, which I thought was interesting, they say, don't buy music, buy merch. Which I'm like, comedy too. I don't sell CDs after the show.
Yeah.
I do shirts, you know. I mean, I don't know. It's and fuck, especially if you're like, and I get it. Like if you're in the feature spot, dude, you have to fuck. You're gonna be losing money. If you're not doing
That's
merch.
a tough thing.
For sure.
That's a tough thing. Yeah, like you would. I mean, it's like, I have this opportunity to make some money. You know, but it's like it's kind of a tricky thing too, because you're I mean, I've heard both two sides of this. Like it's like that thing. Well, you know, if you open it for a person, it's like, all right, do I want to kind of be like, do I want to sell my stuff, you know, on a headliner show? You know what I mean? I've seen like a lot of comics will be like that. Like,
When you say a lot of comics, do you mean the headliners have a problem with it?
yeah.
And so
or you think the feature doesn't want to be annoying and ask the headline, so just don't bring shit.
I think
we've talked about this.
Let us grab it. Like there's a nuance. This thing that's like, well, you know, it's not my weekend. This is like their weekend. Well, I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like I've heard that before.
I think if it's a true comic, the headliner, if
they won't care.
Yeah, they know, especially if they like grinded and came up as a stand-up. Not maybe it's a different view for somebody that like, you know, had like a video go viral and now they're fucking touring and they have no time. But I worked with JP Sears, who's like he's like a faux like yoga guy, like where he did a video about if meat eaters acted like vegans. Yeah. And he was the nicest dude, and he was like, I worked with him at Stand Up Live, and he goes, hey, just so you know, whatever you do it like you normally would. He was like, I'm new at this, so I defer to you guys. You guys are professionals and you guys know what you're doing. So I was like, cool, dope dude. Bob Marley, when I was working with him in Florida, he was talking about, he said he was talking to a manager, and he goes, man, isn't it crazy how like time goes on, he's like, rent goes up, and the guy's like, yeah, and he goes, yeah, fucking ticket prices go up. He goes, yeah, he goes, like headliners are costing more. He's like, and the manager's like, yeah, he goes, you know what never goes up? Feature pay. I think any headliner that will not let a feature sell merch is a cunt.
I've never seen anyone at my club say no to that.
Yeah.
Jay's advice, I think, is what he told me is the best advice, that if you are a feature, just don't undercut the headliner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Make your stuff worth about the same amount of money, because if it's less, they might just go to him and then not even look at the other guy. So I think that is great advice, you know, to features. You just make sure, if you're going to sell something, don't undercut the guy you're there with. You know what I mean?
And I did, actually, you know Greg Wilson, the Greg Wilson?
No.
Great comic. You know Greg?
I know, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, crushes. And so he was doing a week in Vegas, and he hit me up, and he's like, hey, I know you're a headliner and everything. He's like, I got this. He goes, do you want to come out and just feature for me? And I don't really give a fuck about like, if I'm featuring a headliner, especially if it's with buddies. Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, you know. I want to hang out with my friends. And Greg's like, but he goes, because you know I do pretty good with my merch, and he's like, I'm not gonna make any money off merch. And he goes, what about this? How about we both sell and we just split it across the middle, whatever. He goes, if you sell all yours and I sell nothing, we split it. If I sell all mine and you sell none, we split it. I was like, perfect. Yeah. And I'd never done that before, but I was like, that's great. And then there's no stress on like, you know, like you gotta try and direct them. It was awesome. And it ended up being about 50-50 on what we sold. You know?
Nice.
But yeah, I think you dude, fucking, especially like if a feature is like paying their, you know how it is, like you have to fucking sometimes pay your own flight out to a place. Some places you have to pay your own fucking hotel.
Oh yeah, you'll eat it. If you're not selling merch, you're losing money, son.
Yeah, dude. It's.
I'll tell you how it is. We eat it.
But I mean, like, for me personally, I just want to build an act. I could give a fuck about the money. I mean, like I made a concerted decision, 2 years ago, like shortly after I first started, I was like, well, I guess I love this. I guess I'm going for broke on this. I guess I'm going for broke on this fucking thing.
Absolutely, you will.
All right, well, I guess.
Yeah, no. And I think I was telling you before the podcast, I think I was like a year and a half in and living here, and I got on a showcase at Gotham. And at the time, I was like, Gotham. It's fucking Gotham.
That was the first place the real stage went up.
Yeah.
I thought I was all right. Then right before I went on stage, I saw a photo of Greg Giraldo on stage. I'm like, I'm a fucking fraud. And I fucking panicked. I did well, but I was like, fuck, man. Like, that got in my head. Like, fuck, shit. I need to look at that.
Dude, and it was like a showcase show and a bringer show, and I think I was supposed to bring 10 people, and I knew one girl in New York. One person in New York, really, at the time. Yeah, this girl. And luckily, at the time, I was in a position where I could afford to do this. And so I go, hey, I need you to bring 9 people to the show with you, and I will pay everybody's entry fee, just because I want to get on that stage, And I understand I was in a position where I could do that, and not everybody's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I was making money, and so I was like, this is nothing to me as far as monetarily. So I want to do it so I can get on the stage,
Yeah.
And then I did it, and now I probably wouldn't be able to afford it.
What's your full-time comedy?
If you really think about it, like the extent, like what comedians will go through just to get 5 minutes on stage, 10 minutes on stage. Like, there's people out there that listen to this podcast that are just like, they can't even think, like, I'm going to pay people, like, whatever, it's probably $25, it's 100 something bucks right there, just to go on stage for 5 minutes, and then I may not get nothing in return.
Most open mics in New York City now are they make the comics pay for the time.
Oh, that's L.A.
That's fucking insane.
$5 for 5 minutes. And the other thing,
just give it on. Why don't if I jerk you off, do I get the fucking host?
And people, like what you're saying, Chase. Like people don't. It's like I don't know how. The only thing I could equate it to, I've never been a drug addict, but maybe is like drug addiction.
It really is. Dude,
me and Lucas Seeley, living in L.A., somebody hit us up about if we wanted to do a spot in San Francisco. So Lucas and I were like, fuck it, let's do it. And we were like, it'll be a cool story. We drove fucking like 7 hours to do like 7 or 8 minutes each. Didn't get any money, didn't get paid, and then turned around and drove. Like as we're going up there, we're like, yeah, man, we're fucking doing it. Cool story. And then as soon as we get done, we're like, fuck, man, we got 8 hours to drive back. We're idiots.
It's 100% that.
Yeah.
You think I've done it. I had to go to LA. I'll go to LA one night just for 5 minutes. And
Yeah, it's like 5-6 hour drive, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Did it for
how long have you been on the road?
About, let me see, probably about the last 7-ish years. I was real fortunate when I moved to Seattle. There was a headliner there, this guy Harold, that he was like a local, like Northwest. He would headline all throughout the Northwest. Won the Seattle International Comedy Competition, all this shit. And so he would take me on the road with him to feature, like most of the places we were driving to. And I say feature in quotes because he would tell me, he'd go, look, just do as much time as you can. I'll cover the rest.
Nice.
So I was featuring doing like 12 minutes or 15 minutes, and dude, I remember like coming back from a gig one time, and we ended up being roommates, and I remember he was in his room and I'm in mine, and I remember just thinking like, God, like every one of his jokes is like a closer, and I was like, I don't even feel like I have a closer.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I was like, dude, what am I doing with my life? Is this a really bad mistake I'm making? This is like 2.5, 3 years in or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? And then you have like little milestones as you're doing this, and you still get them, however far in, something will happen where you're like, okay, another milestone, and like I remember we were doing a show. I got done, didn't do that well. I got done, and as I'm walking by Harold, he's like, hey, man, good job, gives me dap, right? And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And he goes, all right. He goes, you're good. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, when you've done good or you've done bad. And that's valuable. He's like, a lot of comics, I mean, we've seen it. You've seen it. You'll see a guy eat his balls, and as soon as he gets done eating shit on stage, he's out tweeting how he crushed or destroyed. And you're like, no, you're fucking, that was awful. And so I've always said to you, like, you got to be your biggest you should be your biggest cheerleader, but also your biggest critic.
Yeah.
You know, and not enough people, I think, are their biggest critic, or maybe they're just trying to do the fake it till you make it thing. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that might be a strategy because I'm hopeful it's that and that they're just fucking delusional. You know, if they're delusional, it's a little more worrisome.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I took one guy, buddy of mine, Fonseca, with me up to Seattle for like a run.
Nice name.
Yeah,
That is-
Fonseca.
Fonseca.
You should change your name to fucking Chase Fonseca.
That's
That is a dope name.
you could just. That's like. He should have had a show in the 80s like Dallas. That's the same type of thing. Like, if it was like Dallas, and then it was Dallas first and Fonseca. Like,
Dallas Fonseca. That could be sounds like a baseball player.
Yeah, Dallas Fonseca is a big dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 2 dicks. But he was doing my podcast. I think he was like 2 years in, and I'd taken him on the road on a run through Seattle, and I was like, "How have you been enjoying the shows?" He's like, "It's been great. I've been, what was it?" He goes, "I've been crushing," and I'd known he had tweeted this out at different times, and I was like, "Okay, I want to," because I was curious, like as somebody that does do that, I'm like, when you say you crushed, I was like, what does that mean to you? And he goes, "Oh, like I told my jokes and they laughed at everything," and I was like, that's your job. That's like, I'm like, so what would a standing ovation be? Them laughing at your jokes is like the bare minimum. That's what's supposed to happen as your job as a comic. And he was like, oh, okay. So I've always been like if I could have the greatest set in the history of stand-up, but I won't be like, oh, I destroyed. I'll just be like, crowd was great, had a fun time or whatever. I've always been kind of like, let everybody else yell your accolades or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
And then retweet them.
oh, the word killing. The fucking word killing is used so like.
Dude.
It makes me.
I've never used it.
I would never use it. I'm not even talking about for myself, because I would never say I would say I did good, whatever. But I've heard other comics will say another comic killed, and you look at it like, are you fucking stupid?
That wasn't killing. Yeah.
That's are you just saying that because you're friends, or you're saying this for like other reasons? I'm like, fake it, like you say, fake it till you make it. Type of strategy. And I'm like, and I'm just like,
or you're saying to be polite too. It's like, why don't you say I had a good set?
It was good.
He didn't crush. It's like no one fell out of a chair. Like
because I feel like if you are honest with like this, this particular performance art, all it does, it's gonna accelerate your performance if you're honest with it. If you say like, hey, no, that's not. It was good, but it's not. You could have blah blah blah. These were the peaks of the, Then you're like, oh, there's a whole different stratosphere of like crushing. Like you don't, you know what I mean? Like there's, and it can come in very different styles too. That's why comedy's great. You can kill like being like a very dry, monotone.
Dude, I've seen Stephen Wright fucking fillet a crowd, dude.
Dude, I think it was Fitzsimmons was talking on his podcast about Stephen Wright, and he was saying how people don't understand. Like you could have anybody go up before him. Could be high energy black comic. Could be fuck it. It doesn't matter what it is in front of him. He will go up, not change his style, and brings the room to him and fucking just crush.
Yeah.
And also Rogan talked about Carrot Top, how everybody shits on Carrot Top all the time, but he said when somebody says prop comedy, who do you all think about? Everybody, So he fucking like owns a genre of comedy.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Donner with the fucking puppets.
Yeah.
He's owned that.
Fucking nuts.
That's it's just always interesting to see that when you go into a comedy club or a different city, and you're just waiting for that comic that you're just like, oh wow, I didn't see it like this, and they're fucking killing it,
Yeah.
Like I've been at times, me and Randy go a lot of comedy shows, man. Like we just be like, we just look at you like, yo, he's on it. Who's
the last guy that did that for you guys?
Oh, great question.
For me, it was Bob Marley, definitely. But I want to hear yours.
Jess Gerson. I saw her last year at the pre-show. She fucking blew me up. I was like, wow, I was blown away. She's so good, dude. She's so hot right now.
I saw her in New York, and then my buddy Roger was coming in, who I kind of came up with, a guy I came up with in Seattle, and I was like, dude, you got to see this girl, Jessica Gerson. She is a fucking beast. And then he was like in tears, dying.
Yeah, dude, she's so good.
So good. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I mean, we saw her at the Patrice O'Neill benefit show last year. Not this coming year because we went to that one too. But last year, all the comics were great. We had a friend that was on it, so we were just like, hey, well, we'll come support the show, and they all did good. And then once Jessica came out, I don't think I've
She's
seen
like
a lot of
5'2"
comedy.
player, son. She had she was doing characters, voices, but the writing was perfect. I mean, it was one of those fuck man.
I've seen a lot of comedy.
She pulled out all the arrows. I got none of those skills. I got one.
Next level.
Yeah,
I was like, this. I was like, and I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
That's how fucking stupid I am. I'm like, dude, she has the best fucking 15 minutes in the country. It's just like, I'm like, why is people not taking her on the road?
I think I might have told Hillary or
idiot.
you about her, or I might have been Hillary, but I was like,
Hillary, yeah.
she's fucking amazing. Bob Marley was that for me, and it really made me think about. Again, that thing about because he did like a 15-minute bit on the process of drive-through at McDonald's.
It's like one of those
From the he started off where he's talking about how you have the menu before the menu. He goes, that's how dumb we are that they have to have a menu before put it 15 miles out, and he talked about you start ordering at the preview menu, and then the guy is at the other microphone going pull forward, and he's like, well, if you heard me, you could have took, and dude, he goes through the whole thing, and I was like, it made there was a bit that I had that was just really kind of just one little line, and it made me think dude, I can take this and take a person through the whole process like Marley had done for this bit, and it was amazing for me. What was yours?
Yeah, you've seen a lot lately because
Well, I mean, for me, once I started comedy, it was a year in, and at the club, it was the odds were against the headliner too. It was late show Friday, 40 people in a 300-seat room.
Oh, nice.
And I watched this comic, Rob Little. No one probably knows much about him. He's a big cruise guy, actually.
Bald guy, right?
Bald guy, yeah.
I know.
I watched him go on stage and do an hour and annihilate these 40 people I've never seen. And I did a guest spot, and I was like, I did pretty good. I was like, and he was 40 minutes in. I looked to the next guy, I go, has he told a fucking joke yet? Because he just messed with the crowd the whole time. And it was the funniest thing and most inspiring thing I ever seen. And it made me feel like I don't know anything yet. I mean, I went up there and stayed straight on to my material in a room of 40 people in a 300-seat room where they needed something else. They were too spread out for material. You know what I mean? And he, as a professional, he recognized that and just destroyed them.
In terms of it, for me,
an hour.
Yeah, 6-pack laughing for me, because there's different levels of laughter, right? There's I'm gonna eat my wine. I'm fucking high. Yeah. I'm gonna drink my wine, eat my cheese type of laughter, comedy. Then there's all right, we're gonna get fucking dirty and we're gonna fucking laugh. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dude, I just have to go back to fucking Donnell. It was, I think it was probably Gotham, probably last year.
Oh, yeah, we're after the
Caroline's. I'm sorry, Caroline's.
You fucking put a beating on them, dude.
I mean, I'm talking about what's
amazing is to crush that hard for an hour 20. It's how do you keep the energy in the room that high for that long?
Dude, it's funny. When you said Rob Little, made me think of another comic that's bald. It was at Big Sky. I was doing Big Sky, which is a festival but also a competition. First year I was doing it, and this guy Todd Johnson. Do you know? You guys probably don't know.
No.
West Coast guy. Do you know Todd? But he has a bit. He's bald, and he'll go on stage with a baseball cap, and he does a bit where he talks about. He looks like he has Down syndrome, and then he does this. So we're in this competition. He's up before me. He's going. He's having a good set. He's doing good. They're getting laughs. Yeah. And he does this thing, and he says, "Blah blah blah. I look like I have Down syndrome." Takes his hat off, does this face that the room.
Oh, I've heard
fucking. Erupts. People are throwing babies in the air. It's fucking. It goes crazy, to where he has more punchlines, and you can't hear him. They're laughing so hard. He just is doing the facial and everything. He gets done. Competition. He gets done. They give him a standing ovation in this competition. I'm waiting to go up. The host has to be like, "Okay, guys, sit back down. We got more people." And he's like, "Okay, this next comic," and I'm laughing. I just start walking up. I'm just like, "All right," and I think I said something
You
like,
obviously addressed it.
yeah, I think I said something like, how you follow Make-A-Wish comic or some shit like that. And the judges, who are all industry, like, all of their comments on my set were how, like, great following that. You know, it was like I referencing him, like, that was so great how you addressed him crushing. It was nothing about my set.
You crushed so hard, your review turned into his.
Exactly. Dude, that was so funny, dude.
He crushed so hard they wrote 2 reviews on him.
Yeah, exactly.
One for him and one for him.
Yeah. We give you 5 stars. 4 of them are for him. But oh, dude.
Because that's kind of like the ultimate validation there.
That's what do is follow. You gotta do that, you know?
When that's the ultimate validation. It's like when comedians say, "Hey, this comedian fucking killed."
Yeah.
Versus like, because the audience is like the audience. They have a different sense of. They
also can be manipulated. They don't know what's hack, what's good material. They just want to laugh, you know.
Exactly. So. And I think I've seen like a post like Chris D'Elia did on his Instagram. He was talking about Donnell too. On that, he just like you could just take like airplanes like in the comedy club. No one will notice.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't know. What I'm basically saying is that I will never get to that level.
We hope to one day achieve.
It's like
such laughter.
Well, I just want that room for like, hey, still you want that room of like I gotta work. Like, I gotta work hard,
So this is, you guys gotta run, but this is coming out tomorrow. You guys want to push anything? What do you guys want to put? Obviously, it's your own podcast, Swapcast, but I don't know if you want to push anything on our listeners.
Well, first, let's plug your podcast for the people listening on HollingsWorthless.
Oh, yeah, the Ready, Set, Blow podcast. It's me and Chase Abel. It's a lot of us talking shit.
That's right.
And every now and then we break down the news for you guys, because God knows we don't read it.
Strong opinions, no facts, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I'll just plug Nick's Comedy Stop this weekend.
Nice.
And also, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, I'll be at Empire Casino in Yonkers.
Empire Casino in Yonkers, all right.
DMX is good.
Kelly,
Jack?
Jack.
I would like to plug my stuff, The Real Jack Galvin, at The Real Jack Galvin for everything, Facebook. And then obviously Big Pine Comedy Festival, this September 19th through 22nd.
Yeah.
Submissions are open.
They are currently open.
They're open. They open March 4th officially.
All right.
And they'll be going for a couple more months till the end of May. And San Diego Comedy Festival, which we help produce, is also going to be in May, but submissions are not closed for that.
Okay, fuck
yeah, which is at the Comedy Palace. That's kind of the home base for that.
Fuck, I'd love to submit for that. I just love San Diego, too. I just want to go to places that are beautiful and these festivals. Right. In case nothing happens, it's like, Arizona's fun.
That's why Flight 7 is great. It's beautiful.
and what do you say? Do you have any like kind of like I don't want to say advice, but more of like when comedians who want to submit to these festivals, how to should they should they submit like videos? What's the approach that you think would be kind of the best way to package yourself for a comedian festival?
Well, just when going through the judging people for the festival, obviously we take 5 minutes. I appreciate it to be 5 minutes, but no, if you do send us something longer, that's fine. We only guarantee we're going to watch 5 minutes. So just know that if you're doing a tape, the first thing I want to see when that tape starts is you on stage, not the host. Not anything else.
All right.
I need to see you, and then I need a joke quick.
Because you got 900 submissions to go through.
And don't do crowd work right off the top, because that does me no good. I need to see your writing material, and I need to see how well you're going to be in. And don't do home references. If you're going to send out a tape for Arizona, your home references aren't going to work. So do that, and then what else? There's so many other things, and just and put down all the information. We're going to check your social media. We're going to make sure you're a good person.
Yeah,
and you're not a bad person. We do our due diligence. I want to see that you're. I want to see your.
Hands up.
I want to see that you're active.
Right. What was that?
I want to see that you're active on your social media, and I want to see that you're a good person. You don't attack people or stuff like that. Doesn't mean you can't have different opinions than me. Just be a decent person.
That's not too hard to ask.
All right, guys. Really appreciate you guys doing this. Thanks. Big Irish J. Hollingsworth.
Thank you.
Mr. Jack Galvin, Chase Abel, you're the man. And I'm Ray Burr. We're out, guys. Peace.
Peace.
If a person fucking listens to this till the end, you deserve a prize. Your prize is to go to iTunes and rate or review this podcast. Give it 5 stars, you motherfuckers. Fucking say something nice. Oh, you fucks. I'm dying right now. You motherfuckers. I'm going to do this this fucking piece of shit for 5 years. I'm averaging about 2 fucking reviews a year. Go fucking write some, you motherfuckers. Oh, fuck.
That is the realest I've ever heard you.
God.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?